Good morning, Derek Lambert here. It is 6:06. Told you guys I'd make a video on my last time using, and here it is. So number one, I want to say Pops is doing way better. I mean, he's like 50-60% back from not being able to walk straight, talk at all, like he doesn't remember much, anything. So with that being said, good news, and I promised I'd make a video on my last time using. I think it's remarkable. I remember when I was over at an AA meeting, they asked me, hey, would you share your experience, strength, and hope? The speaker didn't come, tonight, so we'd like for you to spend 15 minutes up there at 3 months. We got someone at 6 months and someone at 1 year. I said, sure, okay. So I tried not to go into too much detail and try not to break the serenity of some folks, if you will, anonymity, if you will, my bad, of some folks. So I will say this. I'll try and make this quickly if I can. So I am manipulating, lying, cheating, anything you can do to try and get high. We're stealing, we're doing all sorts of stuff. I'm staying from couch to couch, mainly one house. I'm staying at their couch because I'm homeless. I don't have a vehicle because the vehicle's in my parents' name. They know what I'm up to, and they're not having it. So I didn't fight that. And what I did is called my mom needing the truck because I needed to go make money. Do a yard, cut a yard, and I can make the money real quick. Mom said, no, I'm not letting you use the car. They've been trying to get me to go to this person's house in recovery because, like I said in my day 4 or day 5 video, this isn't my first rodeo with this problem. This is not my first rodeo with addiction in terms of trying to quit opiates or really anything, alcohol, whatever it may be. So I end up calling Mom and say, Mom, I need the truck. I need the truck. I got to go make $140 or the dope man's going to shoot up the house because I owe him money on a front. Tell my mom this, and my mom is not the type of person that you open up about that. She's old school. She doesn't play those type of games. She said, no, I'm not giving you the truck. And I did everything I could to convince her, but no, she wouldn't give me the truck. So I finally said, you know what? That's it. He's gonna shoot us up. Making up whatever I could. She said, if I pay the $140 to this guy, will he stop? Will this be over? And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, it'll be over, all right. Yeah, definitely. Yep. But you can't meet him. You have to get introduced and all this stuff, and they're not going to do that. You got to be a person who's going to buy or you sell or whatever. Long story short, Mom pulls out $140, but she did under one condition. I could have lied and probably tried to run from this, but man, I was already doing this time and time again, running from this stuff, that I finally said, all right, they want me to go to her house, Lady in Recovery's house. And if I get this $140 to pay him back, which I wasn't paying him back, I was just buying dope because I was hurting. Went from, taking prescription to snorting prescriptions to, hey, I could save money and go to dope. Supposedly save money, but I ended up spending more because my tolerance is built and I need more, and then I go to mainline using because I only had a certain amount that day, and if I'd have snorted the amount, I would not have been unsick, if you will, and I needed more. So I started to mainline use, and I ended up getting this $140 and promising that I would go to this lady's house. I just wanted to get him off my back. I didn't really want to quit, but part of me did want to quit, and that's the struggle. That's the hard part. At moments, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. My life is ruined. I mean, I'm tearing my life up. So at moments, I'd do that, and at other moments, I'd be like, hey, I want to keep doing this. The pain isn't bad enough. It's worth keep going in my head. She gets me to $140. I get straight. And finally, I'm going to skip all this junk. I ended up going to the lady's house. And I'm thinking, all right, let's get this over with. When I get to her house, I'm like, hey, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And she's like, no, you're not. You're going to talk to me for an hour before you go to bed about what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. I don't want to do this, but all right, whatever. She goes on and on talking with me. And finally, I'm like, all right, I'm tired. I go in the bedroom. Call my wife last second because she knew I was there. And she was happy to hear that I was there. And I was like, hey, all right, I'm going to bed. But I was more like, hey, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. I'll call you tomorrow. So, I had this Note 3, which was like busted up, cracked, everything. But the Joker worked, okay? Next morning I wake up, I'm thinking, I may not have a ride, but I have my phone. And I have my contacts in my phone with all the dope dealers and all my connections in my phone. I wake up, go to turn my phone on, because I turned it off to charge so that it would charge quicker and it would, make sure that the phone was good. It wouldn't turn on. I said, this isn't right. For literally 3.5 to 4 hours at this lady's house, I kept trying to get the phone to work. I'm even having them help me try to get my phone to work. They don't know why, but trying to get the phone to work. I couldn't get it to work no matter what we did. And I used to work for T-Mobile for 2 years. And it's a T-Mobile phone. And I tried to get it to work. Couldn't get it to work. Well, as I'm there and I'm going through just relaxing there, I'm not even feeling anything yet. I've been there for now a day and a half. And I'm like, the wife comes out to visit. And when she does, my wife was prescribed pain medicine because she really has actual pain. She's not like me. And I'm bribing her. I'm like, please, please, please. I'm begging her. I'm like, let me get a couple Percocet because it's going to hit me tonight. And I didn't know it was going to hit me that night. But sure enough, it did. And she wouldn't do it. She was crying, going, all you want to do is use me. And I was thinking, my pride kicked. I said, no, I do not. I do not want to use you. I'm not going to use you. In fact, I don't want your Percocet. Ooh, I think I dug my own hole right there. So, she leaves. When she leaves, I go in the bedroom that has a lock on it, and I start thinking, oh my gosh, I start feeling it. While I'm there feeling this, I'm freaking out. And I had my backpack with me that I had been carrying for months, using out of. I had syringes and, all sorts of stuff in there. Spoons, cotton from Q-tips, everything. Well, I literally go through my book bag. This is where it gets kind of gross. So if you're a kind of person who's weak stomach, or you really don't need to hear certain things that might tempt you or whatever, or make you trigger, this may not be what you want to hear. But it's something I needed to tell. And I've told my sponsor, I've told other people, and they were like, oh my gosh. So there was like 60 used syringes that were in my book bag. And there was chunks of black in these syringes. Probably like this much. The syringe is like, I get the 1 ml, the 10, 31 gauge syringe. And I start squeezing these chunks of blood because I know that there's supposed to be dope inside of this shit. And I do that with all the syringes I could find in there that had anything in it. And I'm squeezing the tip just to get a drop, even if it has just a little drop or two. Adding it all into this one spoon, creating this puddle black chunks of my own blood. All in this spoon. I cook it up. I put a new cotton tip, and sure enough, thinking I could get something out of it, I put it in me. And when I did that, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel a damn thing. And it put me into withdrawal. I literally started withdrawing that night. And as I'm withdrawing, I began to feel extreme fever, extreme backaches, so I start taking a bath. And as I'm taking a bath, my neck cramps up. I feel like, all right, I'm dehydrated, my neck's cramping, I'm cold, I can't stop moving, I'm irritable, restless, discontent. I can't handle this. It's too much, is what I'm thinking. But for some reason, all I could do was just the next thing to survive. Was try to drink water, which I couldn't swallow worth a crap. I mean, the water had to be room temperature. I had to be very careful. And I'm in the bathtub, and I'm crawling to the bed, and I'm freezing, and I'm in the bed, I'm freezing, and I'm sitting there for about 30, 45 minutes, go and take another bath. I'm moaning, groaning in pain. I can't feel nothing. No heroin, nothing. No dope, nothing. Could feel it. I felt the worst pain that night, all night. And I finally found this place in my mind when I was laying on the bed, trying to find a comfortable spot on my belly, with my legs just stretched out, my arms stretched out like an X. And as I'm laying there, it's like I finally wandered to this place where I finally got like 30 minutes, maybe 15, 30 minutes. Open my eyes, and it's morning. I mean, I was up all night doing this, 30 minutes prior to the sun coming up. When the sun came up, I went to the garage thinking, it's over. Well, the worst was over. But it wasn't over, and I thought it was all day. I had this energy about me in my mind, and this energy about me that I thought, you know what? I've got energy. Let me invite my wife over and try and make things right. My kids, I missed them. I really did. I missed my family because I wasn't right. So, what I end up doing is have them come over, and I can't sleep worth a crap the next night. I mean, I can't even sit comfortable. Still nothing. I'm sweaty. I'm nasty. I'm not happy. I'm just, I find that my mind had energy, but my body was completely like, And that's what happened for 3-4 days while I was there. And the day I leave there, and I'm clean, I'm getting clean, if you will, not using it all. Finally left that house. I was driving with my wife. She went into the gas station, and sure enough, on the front page of Fayetteville Observer, there's a picture of someone shooting up, and it talked about a heroin epidemic. And then it mentioned this man named Sean, didn't mention his last name, in the newspaper. It's public news, this is public information, you can look it up. Sure enough, Sean was at a nearby Meyer over Reese, which is pretty much a recovery home. I went to the meeting there, the NA meeting, and I bumped into Sean, and I told him what his article had done for me, and how it was perfect timing. You know, I don't want to veer off a rabbit trail, but Albert Einstein talked about, you know, his theory of relativity and his idea that space and time are equal. Well, what's interesting is I traveled all these places, did all these things, and yet at the perfect time and place, or if you will, perfect time and distance, here at this very day that I get out, there's a heroin epidemic in the front page of the newspaper. Oh, it doesn't stop there. This new job that I have now, the day I went in and applied, didn't know this, the day I applied and got hired to start the next day, I went home that afternoon before I started the next day, front page newspaper, solar panels going up in North Carolina all over. I work for a solar panel construction company. What are the odds? What are the odds? Coincidence? I think not, because this isn't all. There's so much more. There's so many more coincidences, if you will, on what people think are coincidences. But it's so often, and it's so much. It's undeniable that something is looking out for me. And it's not just a coincidence. It's unbelievable. Space and time have this precise timing and the precise place where I need to be and where I'm at, that I see and I find these things. So I could share with you guys an experience that happened early on in my recovery that was almost tragic to my recovery, but I still stayed clean, and it was one of those spiritual moments that a lot of people call coincidences. I do not see it as a coincidence today. First time using. Last time using. It is early in the morning, so give me a break. But last time using, I did the dirtiest thing I had ever done in terms of using, and I've always been careful about, trying to keep clean, and I was so desperate that I did anything I could to experience some type of pleasure, some type of relief, and I still didn't get it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want me to share the little spiritual experience that I had, or other spiritual experiences that I've had during my time of recovery. God bless y'all. Have a good one.